Anybody home? Come on out, everybody! It's time to play!
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy, I just don't give a fuck! Smoking bars outside inside, and I wanna know what the fuck you're doing with my time!
All I kick ass for the Lord.
What's up, you hell-raising psychos, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host, as always, Jay Schatzer, and today I have a fantastic 2016 flick to show off. Very strange Lovecraftian kind of John Carpenter style. It is Jeremy Gillespie's and Stephen Kostanski's awesome flick, The Void. It is something to behold, and it's something we're going to showcase right now because I think more people should see this film. But let's get in to this one. Here is The Void. The Void is a fascinating flick because it pretty much is a tribute to John Carpenter and his films in the 80s, as well as Clive Barker's kind of storytelling and his Hellraiser aesthetic, and also a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stuff in here. So it's a love letter to those kind of things and practical effects, and it just is very strange and freaky. But let's talk about the film. It follows, it pretty much circles around a cult, but it begins with a deputy sheriff named Daniel Carter. So Deputy Carter he finds a guy who's limping on the side of a road at night, brings him to the hospital, and a hospital is pretty much staffed by very few people, one of them being his estranged ex-wife. And once he's there, a lot of weird, strange things start happening. A bunch of robed figures with kind of like pyramid triangles on their face are outside, not letting them leave. They're knife-wielding psychos, and they're kind of stuck inside there until they can get help. But while they're inside there, things start getting even more weird because patients are turning into grotesque creatures and attacking them, and they're all kind of just fighting for their lives while the cult slowly kind of closes in and tries to get inside, while the monsters are running amok inside the hospital. So it's a crazy premise, and it gets even crazier in execution because, like I said, it's got a John Carpenter style, very laid back, low-key, long shots of kind of like the abandoned hotel or the hospital, and interesting character interactions. There's a lot of different characters in this that have their own kind of paths throughout the movie, but the practical effects and the way they are shot is very reminiscent of John Carpenter's The Thing. There's a slow reveal for a lot of the creatures. You don't really get a good look at them. They're unspeakable monstrosities straight out of Lovecraftian lore. But they're shot beautifully, like I said, very sparsely, so you don't really know exactly what you're looking at. It's a very mind-boggling kind of experience, seeing these creatures kind of shape-shift and morph into all these other weird formations, but it's just very visceral. The whole film is pretty visceral and just grotesque. Like I said, there is a very huge Clive Barker kind of Hellraiser edge to the film, almost like the creatures and things in this world are suffering. It's very disturbing. But the main players are the character of Daniel Carter's played by Aaron Poole, who does a really good job as kind of the young deputy who's in over his head. He's dealing with a lot of baggage between him and his ex. They had a family tragedy, and they're kind of they're estranged from each other, but they're trying to pick their lives to get back up, but it's just not going well. But he holds that burden for all to see in this movie. He's really stressed and strained and kind of rises to the occasion with everything going on. And as for his estranged ex-wife, Allison Fraser is her name, and Kathleen Monroe plays her, and she does a really wonderful job of kind of showing that hurt from the past and when they were together, but also there's a connection between the two characters, and they both pull that off very well. There's a doctor character, Dr. Powell. He's played by Kenneth Welsh. He does a really good job, and he has a pretty big story to play throughout the movie, so I'm not going to say anything else about him, but he does a great job in the character. And then there's two other characters. They're not really named. They're just two strangers that show up, a father and son, played by Daniel Fathers and Mike Biscoff. They do a really great job, especially Daniel Fathers as the father. He is very intense. He's no nonsense. His story kind of shows up in the very beginning before the movie starts, and then you see later on he enters into the hospital, and his backstory kind of comes to play as well. And it's he plays it pretty badass character, but kind of a dick too. So there's a lot of different clashing of characters in this one, which makes it feel more like a John Carpenter kind of Assault from Precinct 13. So it's got that vibe to it too, plus The Thing. It's a mishmash of a whole bunch of awesome 80s stuff. But yeah, like I said, it is just dripping in Lovecraftian lore. The practical effects are amazing. Very well done, very inventive, very, like I've said many times, grotesque, and just ghastly when you see them. All this weird formations kind of call from like human beings, and there's no weird. It's hard to explain this movie. I mean, from the visuals you can see it's just very, very strange and unusual. But yeah, like I said, it does feel like it is a tribute, a loving tribute to John Carpenter, Lovecraftian lore, and Clive Barker's storytelling, with a very Hellraiser kind of feel. So it's got that dark kind of feel to it. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Very, very insane. A lot of awesome visuals. The cinematography is very beautiful as well, with some very harsh reds, muted tones and stuff like that for like the underground areas. But some blues there. It's just very vivid and visual. And it just captures a very weird, cruel spirit that, like I said, harkens back to like Hellraiser movies, but with that John Carpenter kind of feel. It's got almost like that same aspect ratio as well throughout it, a very panoramic kind of feel. But it simmers in a lot of the scenery and kind of descends into madness as the movie goes along. But just really awesome stuff, really great all around. It might not be for everyone, but if you do love that John Carpenter stuff, Lovecraft stuff, Clive Barker kind of things, you're going to get a kick out of it, I think. So yeah, check it out if you get a chance. But guys, that's it from me. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, and hopefully you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe, and if you have time, leave a comment below, because I love hearing from you crazy bastards. But until then, I will see you all at the next Lucid Nightmare. Peace.